We have something from UMRS in reference to all workers around certification for the.
Hello, good evening, Mayor, and City Commission members. Before you, you have this packet from TMRS. This is our retirement system, and you also have an employee benefit enhancement package. This information that Mr. Mills and Ms. Moreno from TMRS are going to be presenting is also in here. So this is something that we've been looking into for a while, so we wanted to bring it before you.
I just want to include that in the packet, we did run some numbers based on the TMRS presentation. So, and that would be later on the agenda, so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the commission. Anthony Mills, Director of Education Services at the Texas Municipal Retirement System. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Your staff has presented to you in the packets this evening some of the potential plan changes that the City of San Juan could look at as it relates to your TMRS plan. When the city joined TMRS, some 30 years ago in January of 1995. What the city did is you put in place a retirement plan that members who have worked and paid into the system have started to receive benefits quite a bit since 1995. You had back in 2004, as far back as I could see, you had 13 retirees at that time. Today, you've got 122 folks who have retired from the City of San Juan and are drawing a lifetime retirement benefit. Something that I like to make sure that any governing body knows about TMRS is that any plan change that you make, it's your local decision. It's not TMRS that's telling you you need to change your plan. Cities take a very deliberate approach most often than not when they do change their plan in TMRS. And when I look back historically at what San Juan has done, that's been the approach that you've taken. When you joined in 1995, the first real major change that you made to your plan happened about 12 years later. And that is when you improved the employee contribution rate from the 5% that all employees were paying in at that time, you improved it to 6%. The more employees pay in, the more the balance is that they build over the course of their career, the more it's being matched, the more that will be converted to a lifetime retirement benefit. That's what happens in TMRS, and in 2007, you made that plan change. And then in 2008, you improved the city's matching ratio. When you joined in 1995, you began matching at a 1-to-1 matching ratio, and it was in 2008 that you improved that to 1.5-to-1. And then again, it was in 2020 when you made a couple of additional substantive plan changes, and that is when you improved your matching ratio from the 1.5-to-1 to 2-to-1. Now, what is being considered here, at least for you to deliberate on, is whether or not it is the city's desire to change the employee contribution rate. I mentioned that in 2007, you went from 5%, that all employees were paying it at 5%, they improved to 6%. In TMRS, cities have the option to adopt a 7% employee contribution rate, and that's one of the potential plan changes that is being presented to you this evening to deliberate. And that plan change, like the ones before it, would start to improve the retirement benefits that employees are building from this point going forward. But I would like to also present to you this evening that you have an option in TMRS to adopt a feature called updated service credits. And when I look back at San Juan's plan, the city has never adopted an updated service credit. What updated service credit would do, should the city choose to adopt it, is it would take a look not just at what happens to retirement benefits going forward, but it would also take into consideration what has happened for the employees who have been with the city over the course of your history in TMRS and have seen those plan improvements that I've mentioned that you've made over the years, but got no benefit from the past that they had in place when they had a lower retirement benefit options in your plan. Some employees have been here long enough to have seen the plan improve from the 5% to the 6%. They've seen the city's matching ratio go from the 1-to-1 matching ratio to the 1.5-to-1 matching ratio to the 2-to-1 matching ratio. And at each of those iterations, what happened was the benefit started to improve from that point going forward with no look back. What the updated service credit would do is there's a formula that underlies the updated service credit that takes into account what the employee's current salary looks like, what the city's current plan looks like. And if you were to look back historically from the time that the employee came to work in TMRS, the updated service credit feature would then calculate what additional cash credits would have been in that member's account had the city always had a plan that looked like the one that you have in place under whatever the current plan design is. And that's what the updated service credit does. So obviously, if you improve the employee contribution rate, if you improve or added the updated service credit feature, and it has a component called transfer updated service credit. That transfer feature, what it does is it takes a look for cities that are in an area like you are here in RGV, where you compete with neighboring cities for talent. Those employees who have come to work here, who may have service in a different TMRS city, if you hired that employee and that employee has promoted along the way, or if they work here and your plan is better than the plan that they had previously had in place at a different TMRS city, that certainly could be one of the lures to recruit talent to come to work here at San Juan. But if you do, the updated service credit transfer feature takes into account not just the history here at San Juan, but it's also looking back to the beginning of that employee's career in TMRS if they still have other active accounts. So I wanted to also make sure that you were aware of that. When you look at the comparison that's in the packet on the right-hand side in that packet that I brought you this evening, the comparison of alternate plan design, the landscape copy, you can see a side-by-side comparison. There's something that I want to make sure that you understand about these numbers that you're looking at this evening. This comparison is looking at your plan as if you had adopted this last year and showing you what the effect would have been on your 2025 plan. You did not make these changes last year. I ran these numbers for your staff so that you could have a ballpark idea of what it would look like should you adopt this and make it effective for January 2026. Our valuation data has not yet been presented to the TMRS board. That happens at our board meeting next week. And assuming that the valuation report is adopted, come mid-June, we will be able to run new scenarios so that we can give you the actual numbers. So think of these as hypothetical. They put you in the ballpark of what the effect would have been had you made these changes last year. But we will have new numbers for staff to present to you, but we did want to make sure that you did have ballpark numbers to work with as you deliberate whether these options is what you have the desire to adopt. I've also included in that packet for you that history of the plan changes that you have made historically. You can see to the date when you made plan changes here or previous commissions made plan changes to that plan. And I also included for you what we call a projection report. And I think governing bodies want to make sure that you're understanding when you make a plan change, yes, you understand that you're improving the plan, which means additional liabilities, which means additional costs to the city. But I want you to see what those numbers look like as far as the annual contribution projections, as far as the annual contribution rate, and as far as the funded ratio. And those are not numbers in terms that you often hear. You don't hear from TMRS day in and day out. So let me just make sure that I tell you exactly what I'm talking about. When we talk about the annual contribution, we talk in the dollars. Your staff probably could give you better exact numbers than I could, but when you're looking at what we call the total contribution rate that's in that comparison of alternate benefit designs, when you look at that 9.64%, we are looking at 9.64% of your annual payroll. And we've got a projection, and it's just an assumption, but again, your staff could probably give you numbers that are a lot closer to actual if you take a look at that. But it does show what the the projected dollar amount would be for that year in dollars. When I talk about the contribution rate, that's that percentage of your payroll. You can see how it trends over the next 8 years. You can see what the funded ratio, that's the difference between the assets and the liabilities that you have in your plan. And just so that you are aware, the funded ratio for your plan right now is 102.3%. That means you've got 2.3% more in assets in your account than you're going to pay out in projected benefits under your current plan design. So that $433,000 is an overage that you have in your TMRS plan. There's no way for us to cut you a check for $433,000, but what we do is we grant a credit toward the cost of your plan each year, and you can see that credit show up in what we call the prior service rate. That credit of the minus 0.16%, that's a credit, and it's taken off that total rate, which right now your rate is 4.66% here in 2025. And again, don't forget that what you're looking at is a hypothetical. If you had made the plan change last year, what it would have been here in 2025. And here in the next few weeks, once the new valuation is adopted and the data points are loaded in our modeling tool, we'll be able to run new scenarios so that you can have the exact numbers for 2026. And the funded ratio, I did want to just make sure that you get a good idea of what we mean when we say that. If I were to tell you that when we look at the total liabilities in your plan under your current plan design, it comes to about $18.9 million. If I told you you had $18.9 million in total liabilities, that's not the whole story if I didn't tell you that you've already got $19.4 million in assets accrued. And when you look at the difference between that 19.4 in assets that you've got versus the 18.9 in liabilities that you've got, that's how you come up with that overage of $433,000. So you've got an overfunded actuarial accrued liabilities. Most cities in TMRS have an unfunded actuarial accrued liability. And importantly, if you were to make a plan change, yes, you're going to have a new unfunded actuarial accrued liability. Yes, if you had made this change last year, your funded ratio would have been 85.7%. So the 14.3% difference between 85.7 and 100, That 14.3% is what's being amortized, and it's being amortized over a fixed schedule, over a 20-year schedule. So the increased rate that you would begin paying, we would expect that rate to stay fairly steady. And once you've paid that rate over that 20-year amortization schedule, then you would start to see the positive amortization eventually move your rate back down to what we would call your normal cost. And when we look at that normal cost, had you made this plan change last year, that rate would be about 7.19%. The difference, the 2.16 that you see in that prior service rate that would come out, that's what's really being amortized over the 20 years. The 7.19% is for the current service. It's for paying for that next year benefits that your workforce, the 274 folks who are working and paying into TMRS, what they're going to accrue. Right? Now, I know that, again, this is not something that you hear about day in and day out, but there are a few things that I like to make sure that I leave a governing body with as you deliberate. Any plan change that you make in TMRS, we can predictably tell you when that benefit is going to be paid for. Any plan change that you make in TMRS, our actuarial funding policy ensures that before employees get to the finish line, that San Juan would have done its part to ensure that those benefits have been accrued and that the lifetime retirement benefit that we've been paying for over 76 years now to retirees all over the state of Texas, that benefit is stable, it's solvent, it's looking toward the future. The other item that I did want to make sure that I left you with is anytime you make a plan change in TMRS, we're super transparent with any liabilities that you're adding to your plan. And that's what you see in the reports that I've brought to you this evening. I will bring you or give to staff who will provide for you the new numbers when they are available here in a few weeks. And with that, I'll open it for any questions that you might have for me.
Is there any questions you have for Mr. Mills? I know it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, it's a lot of money, but.
How often do you meet into TMRS?
We've been doing this gradually, and we meet often. We meet often. We educate the employees. We have presentations. So.
And I'm remiss to not introduce my colleague on my team. Lorraine Moreno is our regional manager for the city of San Juan, and she has done yeoman's work here with the staff. Many of your staffers here at San Juan probably know her because for the last 18 years or so, she has been the person on the spot here at the city educating your workforce.
Yes, yes, sir. So again, we know it's a lot of information, but we've been throughout the years, little by little, trying to enhance the benefits for the employees. So like he mentioned, the plan changes that are there, they've been gradual. They've been doing them gradually. And we know everything is budget driven. We know that over here to my left, it's about numbers, so, but we just feel that it's time. We feel it's time. I think we've made good progress with them and giving us a lot of historical information, a lot of things that I think would benefit our employees.
Well, I can't speak for anyone up here, but I can sure tell you that I'm going to rely a lot with your experience and your knowledge when it comes to this. It's something that we've done in this work, so yeah, just let us know and what you guys, in my opinion, would recommend what's best for the employees, because more than sure I can say this, that's what we want. We want what's best for the employees and all the staff here in the city.
Okay, and sure. Any questions for him before? No?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay, go back to the item number 5, presentation of proclamation for payment by month of May 2025, National Trauma Awareness Month.
Thank you, Mayor, Honorable Mayor, and Commissioners for the City of San Juan. I'd like to, first of all, ask for Assistant Chief Alanis and also Chief Cifuentes to join us as we're recognizing trauma. We also understand that this is a team effort. We're also joined by the EMS service that provides services for the city of San Juan and also is one of the rotating EMS companies that it is with DHR Health. My name is Mario Liscano. I'm the Administrator of Corporate Affairs for DHR Health. And I'm joined in with Cassandra M. Bravo, which is our Trauma Department Injury Prevention Coordinator and works directly with the cities, including the city of San Juan. So I want to make sure she joins us as well with this proclamation as it's being read. We'd like to, before it's read, we'd like to thank you on behalf of our Board of Governors, our Board of Managers, our over 700 physicians, and our over 6,500 employees for the city of San Juan, always providing not only the insight to continue to provide the information and awareness of the observance that are taking place, but also because we're a trauma level 1 designated area, we want to ensure that that the entire region understands that we all work together with the health systems when a major catastrophe does happen. And we are also bringing to the awareness of the prevention and also the know-how on how to treat those things that before were taken to different regions. They are taken care of by the health systems that are in this area. So we're grateful for that. And we hope you approve the proclamation that is about to be read.
That being said, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. National Trauma Awareness Month. Whereas trauma is a profound, widespread, and costly public health issue that stems from physical injury, directly impacting the emotional, psychological, and financial well-being of our families and communities across the nation. And whereas trauma is caused by physical forces, including but not limited to natural, man-made disasters, violence, neglect, or other deeply distressing events, adverse childhood experience, and it often leads to long-term physical and mental health challenges, including physical disability, depression, anxiety, addiction, and chronic illness. And whereas awareness, prevention, and early intervention are vital to mitigate the impacts of trauma, promoting resilience, fostering healing, and influencing safe behaviors. And whereas addressing trauma requires a united effort among the public healthcare providers, educators, first responders, social workers, faith-based organizations, and community leaders to ensure access to trauma-informed care, service, and support. And whereas resilience building strategies such as strengthening social connections, promoting self-care, and creating supportive environments can empower individuals and communities to recover and thrive in the face of adversity. And whereas National Trauma Awareness Month provides an opportunity to educate the public, advocate for trauma-informed policies, and celebrate the strength and courage of trauma survivors. And now, therefore, be resolved that I, Mario Garza, by the power vested in me as the mayor of the city of San Juan, along with Mayor Pro Tem Mark Villegas, Commissioner Neto Bajardo, Commissioner Dina Santiago, and Commissioner Jessica Ramirez, hereby proclaim May 25th National Trauma Awareness Month and call upon all citizens, organizations, and government agencies to raise awareness, engage in efforts to prevent trauma, support survivors, and foster communities of resilience and healing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If we can take a photo, but we want to take this time on behalf of DHR Health to, during National Police Week, to thank all the police officers that are so brave and, provide the safety for our cities. And we want to take this opportunity to thank them on behalf of DHR Health. Thank you.
Also, on behalf of DHR Health, we want to thank our fire department and EMS. Last week was Firefighters Week, and next week is our EMS week. So thank you guys for all you do. I personally understand how when you guys are away and we have to stay at home, so I understand that as well. Thank you.
We want to take a photo? Yes. Thank you.
Presentation of the proclamation effective May 11, 2025 as National Police Week.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. I want to thank this opportunity to be here honoring these men and women of law enforcement for this National Police Week. Mayor, if I may proceed in the reading part of the proclamation. Whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as the National Peace Officers Memorial Day and calendar week in which May 15 falls on National Police Week, established in joint resolution in Congress in 1962. National Police Week pays special recognition of those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty and for the safety and protection of others. There are extremely 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in the communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the San Juan Police Department. And whereas the San Juan Police Department plays an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedom of the members of the community. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the San Juan Police Department unceasingly provide this vital public service.
Now therefore be resolved that I, Juan, by the power vested in me as mayor, the city of San Juan, along with Mayor Pro Tem Juan, Commissioner Ernesto Bajos, Commissioner and Commissioner Jessica Ramirez, hereby declare May 17, 2025 as National Police Week and May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day. Accordingly, City Commission formally recognized the 37 sworn members of San Juan Police Department for their faithful and loyal devotion and their responsibilities and their dedication to the community.
That's, be it further resolved that the city commission calls upon the citizens to join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities and have established for themselves an honorable, enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. The San Juan City Commission publicly salutes the service of the enforcement officers in our community and communities across the nation.
Signed this 13th day of May 2025 in the city of San Juan, state of Texas. Witness therefore, seal of the city of San Juan and the signature of the city. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you so much. All the men and women in blue and red, all the first responders for the great work that you guys do, and not only in the community of San Juan, but all over, local, municipality, state, and national. Thank you for all the great work, the hard work. Y'all's job is something very serious, and I really appreciate everything you do for us and protecting us. Thank you.
certified San Juan Nature Night event hosted by the San Juan Municipal Board. Very last.
Mayor, Commissioners, Mayor Pro Tem, CM, Mr. Palacios, thank you for allowing us to do this presentation. As you know, we have a very active board now with the Keep San Juan Beautiful. They've been really addressing the city in many cleanups, and many events that they're doing. They have a lot of big, high expectations for the city. We have a very active board. I want Ms. Kelly and Mr. Eric and Mr. Puente are here from the board. Ms. Kelly Jimenez is our secretary. She will be presenting to you guys, or to our commission, what it's all about and what she's gonna invite you to. This is the first time that we're trying it, so we kind of hope that we have the commission and the CM's support to this. It's a very good event that we're gonna have. Ms. Kelly?
Thank you, Mr. Garza. We have a video that we hope is going to play right now. Did they receive?
Like
There's a video right there.
Yay, there it is.
hidden paradise in your own backyard that nobody talks about? That's San Juan Wetlands, our city's best kept secret. On June 14th, we're throwing open the gates for San Juan Nature Nights 2025. Picture this: sunset over peaceful waters, music floating through the air, local vendors, and families spread across the grass. No tickets needed, no complicated plans, just our community reconnecting with nature and each other. This isn't just another event. It's our chance to fall in love with San Juan all over again. Bring blankets, bring bikes, bring your curiosity. The wetlands are waiting, and this little slice of paradise belongs to all of us. San Juan Nature Nights by Keep San Juan Beautiful, June 14th at 5 p.m.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Temp, Commissioners, and Interim City Manager. My name is Raquel Jimenez. I also go by Kelly, and I'm the Secretary with Keep San Juan Beautiful. We are here to talk about the San Juan Nature Nights hosted by Keep San Juan Beautiful, and I also want to thank you for having us here and listening to us. Keep San Juan Beautiful is a community-driven initiative focused on revitalizing public spaces, encouraging environmental education, and promoting civic pride. Our primary focus has been litter and waste removal and recycling awareness. We've held volunteer-based city cleanups and tiger roundups. In addition to litter cleanup and recycling, we want a cleaner and greener and more beautiful San Juan. One way to foster pride in where we live and bring awareness to our mission is to offer events to highlight the beauty our city has to offer. Keep San Juan Beautiful will be hosting a free event to introduce or reintroduce the San Juan wetlands to the community, a charming green space few people know about. This special event is a celebration of nature, community, and the environmental beauty right here in our own city. We will offer music, local vendors, and activities for all ages, all set in the peaceful backdrop of our local wetland space. With your support, together we can continue to transform our city into a cleaner, healthier, and more vibrant community for everyone and build a lasting change. So we just wanted to introduce to you what we plan to do with the wetlands. So we hope you have your support.
Can I
All
make
right.
a comment?
Sure.
Seeing that little, that little water area, I'd like to see what it costs to, fill some fish in there. And I say this for the little kids.
I love that idea.
Catch and release. And maybe once you fill up that little pond right there, I think the city or Keep San Juan Beautiful can have some kind of little fishing tournament for the little young ones.
I love that idea.
Catch and release. And I think that's something that would be great for our community.
Yes.
But I'd like to see what it costs to fill up that you know, with some, I guess, some freshwater bass and some freshwater catfish.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I love it. I love it.
And I say that because, I mean, we're going into summer, kids are gonna be out. You know, this would be a great opportunity for them to go outside, explore the wetlands, not only explore the wetlands, but they can go out and fish.
Yeah.
You know.
We hope to host an educational class this summer. We need to put that together. But first, we want to introduce it to the city because it's been there for years, and we just went in December for the first time, my husband and I've lived here my whole life.
I agree. Let me ask you this. So how are you, I know I've seen it being promoted like on our social media base. What else how else are you promoting this? Because this is big. I think this is gonna be a turnout. It's a real nice event.
Thank you.
But if we can really, you know, promote it.
I did provide you guys with some flyers, so hopefully you can put that somewhere, pass it around, share it, English and in Spanish, since we're a bilingual area. And that's how we have flyers and we have social media, and
maybe get with the schools, Mr. Garza, as well, and have them help you guys go out and promote it as well. You know?
Yeah, share it with the schools. I like that.
Quick comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to commend you guys. We've had, I mean, when a couple of months ago, or I'd say a while back, when we were looking at Mr. Ramirez, we go back and forth, and when memberships came in, and the realization that, you know, wait a minute, hold on, at one time, we used to have a board member of 4 or 5 people, a board of memberships, right? And now we have 15, and now you see what's come out of it, you know what I'm saying? You have enthusiastic people going out there and did it on your own. I want to commend you, Eric, tremendous work, and Candy,
Thank you.
and Angie just traveled up there and talking and getting us to know whether, you know, whatever happens, if we go up there, we talk, but it takes that. It takes going over there and showing that initiative. And Ms. Jenna, as the president, I mean, the cleanups that we've had, you've just seen a different direction. We've always had the cleanups. We've always had the tire roundups. We haven't had them like this. And there's a big difference. So I want to commend you all for the work y'all are doing. You're doing it you all doing it just because you love it, and that's what you're part of. So it's a tremendous change, and as far as I'm concerned, we're gonna help you all along the way, anything y'all need. But y'all need to be recognized for the work you've already done.
I appreciate it. Thank you for noticing.
As well as the painting as well of our pipes, right? Yes, the water pipes.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, there's a whole array of stuff that's getting done all at once. It's getting done right, and it's getting done in a good way. And I couldn't be more proud of what San Juan Beautiful has done so far.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Any questions?
Do you have any questions on our event? I do want to add, we are going to have vendors, but we were also able to get some local businesses to come and donate their time and support. Sanchez Family Ranch, they're going to have popcorn. They're going to bring a little train for the kids. We have an artist stand, Cesar, the one who did the pipe, the artist who painted the pipe. He's going to have a meet and greet booth. We're going to have a local artist. His name is Jacob, and he just wrote a children's book. And we're going to have a time slot for a reading so the children can meet him. And we're going to have our local Ghostbuster, Scotty. He's going to be there entertaining the kids. We're going to have Legacy Smiles, the one by McDonald's, and he's going to donate some moon jumps and other rides. We're going to have Salazar Insurance with Corina. She's going to have some snacks for the kiddos. Eric Real Estate Group, he's going to have an art booth. And Matt's Cash and Carry, they're going to have a booth to donate merch, and they've also offered to donate materials to help improve one of the gazebos that's out there, and maybe a sign for us. We're still figuring that out. And Marco's Pizza is tentative to go hand out pizza. So that's what we've been working on.
Join in as soon as they find out more and more.
I hope so, and we're still looking for sponsors. So if you know anybody, send them our way. Okay, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. Oh,
Commissioner, just to elaborate a little bit on what Ms. Kelly said, I took Mr. Ramirez on a little tour. I know most of you have not been back there. No, I took him. They haven't y'all haven't been back there to where we cleaned up all the way to the levees. So now from the standpoint of Hall Acres, you can actually see all the way to the precinct 2 lighting area because it was never visible back in the day. But the trail got a lot bigger because now it goes all the way to where we hit the drainage ditch that catches the water, that storm water that runs into our Raymondville exit dam. So I encourage you guys, you commissions, to go and walk, because it's a lengthy walk, but we have that big pond that we're working on. It's going to be, my vision is there. Rain hasn't helped too much, but if I know Mr. Ramirez told me that there was a very big improvement on what we did, because it's now a walking trail all the way to the end, and we have that outfall that Mr. Martinez has with clean water going into the discharge, rocks, and there's a couple of sardines in there. Not fish, but sardines. But you can see them, and it looks very nice. So I encourage you guys, if you all want to attend, I would love to take you out there on one of our Polarises and show you all around the area, because it's turning out real good. The ideas that Ms. De La Selva and I had a long time ago kind of worked and blended together in what we did, and we really cleaned up the recycling as part of the back end of that pond for walks. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Presentation of the departmental reports, Department of Finance, Fire Department, Police Department, and Municipal Court, for the Department of Utilities, Department of Planning and Zoning, Department of Parks and Recreation, Department of Sanitation, and marijuana and motor library. All department heads are available for any questions that you may have.
Any questions at the time for the director?
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, as far as the health department, how is that coming along?
Going great. Going great, sir. He conducted 17 inspections in three and a half days, and those 17 were outdated permits, so they've come into compliance already. So we can already see the fruit of having it in house.
That's good to hear, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. And another question for you. I know that probably most of the commissions, when they were doing their campaigning, came across lots, single family lots with multiple dwellings. How can we address that? My concern is if they're all hooked up to the same electrical pole and electrical box, how can we fix that?
With my experience, we've used the fire code as a backup in the past, and we would conduct inspections along with the fire department and get a notice to the lot owner and give them ample time to fix that issue, maybe 30 days, depending on the severity, and failure to comply, we'll pull that meter until we comply.
So is that something your code enforcement's going to do, or is that something that?
We can do it along with maybe somebody from chief department along with like from the fire department. But again, it is a fire code violation. Those meters can only hold so much wattage and voltage, so it is a matter of time that it could cause an issue or a fire.
I feel that it's something that we need to do, because we'd rather fix the situation now than have to fix it after something happens and it's too late. Mr. Leroy, I noticed on your report there was 25 adjustments and 20 amendments to the budget. We don't get that report. Can we include that information to see why we're making those adjustments or amendments to the budget?
Sure, I can include on next.
Mr. Garza, I know that we had mentioned public service announcements for different issues that have arisen here with our community. Have you worked on anything yet?
I've been talking to Mr. Carr. We're going to get together. Right now, unfortunately, I'm a little under the weather. As you can hear, my voice is not that great, and Mr. Carr wants me to change my voice a little bit so we can have better communication. But Yes, we talked about it, we're gonna have a sit down, sometime next week we'll have a sit down and I gotta get with Greg to kind of do English and Spanish on both sets, so we have the pictures for Mr. Carr to put together and the staff, the address, hopefully with that public announcement and those.
You've already started it? You've already did it?
We haven't done the public announcement, we've just done the pictures and the clean outs that we did to put together with the package for Mr. Carr.
And also on your report, Mr. Garza, I know you include the vehicles that are in operation, right? But I would also like to see how many vehicles are down, how many are not in service, how many are we working on to get them back on the road? Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. Garza, I know we've had a lot of meeting lots, especially with all the rain that's been coming through and stuff, but we're still addressing those and putting them into the big.
I'm addressing them as they come, working very tightly with Mr. Garcia with his code enforcement. Of course, they have to get all the proper documentation before we even cut them for any kind of liens or charges, so we're backed up in work.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, I saw with all the new businesses we have, are we planning any type of ribbon cuttings for them to give us some public announcements and put it out there so the community knows what new businesses we have out here?
Yes, ma'am, we're coordinating that,
Okay, very good. Leroy, on the adjustment set that you noted, how you don't have a rough estimate on the amounts that we had to do the budget amendments on which accounts?
No, but I can get you.
Okay. I was just wondering what the amounts were from the budgets and where they were being allocated to. Chief Garza and Chief Alanis, with the volunteer fire department, we still don't have them active. Do we have a plan to get them activated and start meeting with them? Is that a plan that we have yet?
Ma'am, I guess we can pretty much, we do have the ones that are currently on the list. We just had a meeting last week with retirement system, in the sense that the city contributes on a quarterly basis. The issue that we're having is that now the state requires for us to have those set of years for each building. And the year after COVID and all that, practically should double the price. Costly. Very costly. And so it makes it kind of difficult to have to survive paid personnel and staff and then have to survive. I don't want to get caught in a situation where I don't have the proper, because now the years dated every 10 years at least. I don't want to get caught up in a liability issue that we don't have the proper equipment or and then one of them line up first. So the current roster that we have, I think it's maybe there's 12, 10 to 12. So what helps with them is that they work for separate entities that they provide.
So they bring their, if they needed to, they would bring their gear. Okay.
So that's where we stand. I know it's been questioned before, but it puts the city, it puts us in a situation where it's, I don't want to be there.
Right.
It's for safety.
For safety for them and liability. What's the turnaround time still on uniforms for fire department?
We're looking at, should give us the lead time for the year, for the year. It's at least 18 weeks.
18 weeks? So it's better.
It's getting better, yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Carr, with the announcements that we're talking about, the announcements, and also just like, we have the mosquito spray, I know we have that 211 system. Is that something we can use to also push out any type of city announcements that we have to let the community know that whatever it is that we have going on at the time?
Yes, ma'am. We have our Text My Gov solution that we use for texting.
Okay.
So if you're registered with Text My Gov, you can find the information online. As soon as we push something out on social media like Facebook and Instagram, we also push it out using Text My Gov.
So it is being pushed out?
So
okay.
It is being pushed out. We put out at least 1 or 2 a day of just different stuff that's happening.
Okay.
Greg takes care of that.
Okay, sounds good. Ms. Mary, with the courts, I know you broke down the judges that we have Zoom in and in person. The numbers that you gave on the report is that all one for Zoom in or all for in person, or is it a total for the two? It's, anonymously does both Zoom and in person, or is it does in person and sometimes in person? In person. Now, these totals that you have, is this total like when you have court as well, when you have the bail hearings and all of that, or what number is this that you're providing here? It says magistrate. It's just magistrate when we run the court for the arraignments. So just the arraignments? Just the arraignments. Okay, can you also include on there, the cases that they see if they're coming in for court, if it's for weedy lots or, if there's some type of lien that they're having to come report to our city court, can you include those numbers also? So we can see how many cases they're seeing, because the numbers that we see here, it's like, those can't be true numbers. So I want to see the numbers that they're having when they're coming in for cases. On their schedules, do they have a rotation on who comes in for court, or is it only one particular judge for a particular case in court, or how does the schedule work? During the week, we call the three judges, and if one of them is available, he's the one that comes in and does the magistrate arraignment. And during the weekend, also, we call rotate them for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Do they have a schedule already ahead of time, or do you do it on a week-by-week basis? We don't have a schedule. Normally, we just call them and see if they're going to be here. Sometimes they might be out of town. The availability. We call the person, the judge who are going to be available. Both of them, and the one that answers the first, that's a call. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much what was my questions there on those. I just wanted to see how many cases they're seeing, not just the magistrates, but all the cases for the entire month of those reports. One more question on code. A lot of the subdivisions, they have abandoned toilets. The trash from there. What are we doing to address that as a city? Are we citing them, giving them a warning, and after 14 days, 30 days, so they have to clean it up? Or what's our process on things like that? When they have it laying in the front, right on the front of the street, on the front.
I'm sorry, is it abandoned trash?
It's like, say they're doing remodeling, they just leave an old toilet there. And it'll stay there for a long time, things like that. So what are we doing to address that type of situation?
It's part of the code enforcement when the guys are out there doing their rounds and they spot something like that, they issue a citation.
So they'll give them 14 days, like for 30 days or something to clean it out, and then after that, they'll come back and give them a citation? Okay.
It's been the same, right, the whole time?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of that a little bit more frequently, so I just wanted to see, I know y'all there's a lot going on, just wanted to see if we're staying on top of those.
It's a big area in the construction.
Yes. Do we have plans for mosquito spray by any chance? Have we talked about that yet?
Mosquito spray?
The mosquito spraying for the mosquitoes?
Oh.
But we haven't done the mosquitoes. We did it. We can't do it frequently because mosquitoes will get immune to what we do. Right now, I don't know if City Hall's gotten any calls. Usually when they get calls, they pass them forward to me. I have not received any calls since then.
We did it that one time right after, right?
Yes, all our ponds we do service those with donuts, and they're called donuts, some type of dissolvent that kills the larvae. So right now, all our ponds have adequate, we don't have any, I know we had a little problem with sanitation, and we no longer have that problem in the morning. So I don't know if City Hall has gotten any calls, because usually I get them, but I haven't gotten any.
Okay, all right, thank you. Those are all my questions.
Now, as far as when it comes to the mosquito, they mentioned the miles per hour on the wind. If it's more than 10 miles
10 miles an hour, you cannot blow our machines.
Okay.
They'll just carry them.
Correct.
And it has to be dry for soap.
It has to be, the best time to do it is anywhere from 5 to 6, 7, 8 miles an hour, no more than 10.
Okay.
We try to stick to the 8 miles an hour.
So do we educate our citizens about that?
I believe we put something out. I'm not too sure. I need to get with my staff.
Okay, that's fine.
Put anything, I'll find out.
I think that's very important, that to really educate our citizens when it comes to that. Also, I know just since Public Works falls under you, Mr. Garcia, the street on Nebraska, the main road, you know how we planning the downtown revitalization. The street over there we need it striped, but then I know you had mentioned at one point that we may be looking into doing an overlay there. So we gotta come up with a plan real soon, because you can't, you drive through there and you don't know where the lines are, and so we gotta figure something out, whether we're gonna stripe it and stripe for a while until we get the funding, which I think we do have some monies for street improvements right now, or do we go and focus on that street?
Currently, I just spoke to the city manager this morning, interim city manager, on that particular topic. We are finishing up the batteries.
Yeah.
Maybe another week we'll be out there, and then we can be ready for striping. I did mention about the overlay. I do have the pricing of the overlay on that specific area, starting from Business 3 to 12th Street to completely overlaid. And we have two projects. We do have money. I spoke to Leroy. We'll bring it to the table. I'll talk to what recommendations, and we'll go from there. I think we're going to have to go out with bids, open bids.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Yeah, that was the only question. Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. If not, we'll move on. Go ahead, Chief.
Chief, hold on. Real quick, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Chief, have you gotten any complaints or calls of the graffiti over here by Austin Junior High and some of the neighborhoods, Stewart Place stuff? I know our neighborhood got tagged up, that's Stewart Place, that's just south of Austin Junior High. That's Stewart Place too. I know our HOA, whatever, they went and purchased something themselves. But I've been getting calls from the other neighborhoods that's going north and south. The other Stewart Place, and they got hit real bad. I guess right. Yeah. And it was they did a good job on it. They tagged it up pretty bad. Maybe a little bit more visibility, or if we need to look into, like last time when there was an issue, we had the cameras and stuff like that pointed at, because that solved it while it was there. If there was the presence of the cameras there, it helped it out. But I was asked, so I just for the public, for the record, so that maybe we can get together to figure out a way so that won't be happening anymore. Because they just kind of like, they did it all at once. They did this neighborhood, and then they did the whole other side, going down to Stewart.
Yes, we have investigators coming to the neighborhood for those cases, but the cameras themselves, we have two that are getting rebuilt, and as a matter of fact, today we'll send it around.
Okay.
Some of the cameras belong to special operations, and for example, phone guarding, so that's down by military road. But the rest of the cameras are here in the city, and we're sending them around. Once we get those two that are being rebuilt, we're gonna start putting them.
Okay, so y'all have noticed, y'all are on a notice for all that stuff that happened, right? Okay, thank you, Chief.
Item 6, public hearing ordinance, holding public hearing and considering ordinance for the conditional use permit regarding the sale of alcohol beverages, wine and beer, regular permit, Valley Ranch Drive in located at 601 Small Acres Road, legally described as Lot 95, Valley Ranch Number 5 subdivision, as requested by Valley Ranch Drive-In LLC,
Okay. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, and Commissioners. Jorge Garcia presenting for the Planning Department. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption at Valley Ranch Drive-In. The property is located at the southwest corner of Hall Acres and Stewart Road. The applicant is proposing a drive-through convenience store selling groceries, snacks, wine, and beer. The proposed days and hours of operation are Monday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. The applicant will need to comply with the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission requirements. Additional permits may be required by the city of San Juan for different types of alcohol or license permits. Staff mailed a notice of public hearing to 9 property owners within a 200-foot radius and received 1 comment against the request. During the regular meeting on April 10, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the conditional use permit as presented with a 6-2-0 vote.
6-2?
6-2-0. 6-0.
6-0.
6-0, yeah.
6-0.
All right, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 7:18 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions, members of the commission?
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
I see that there was one email against the proposal. Did you reach out to them by any chance? Other than the email that was sent in?
Yes, sir. I did not reach out to them personally, but my staff did. And it's just the properties further southwest. But again, out of those 9 notices that were sent out, only one was against.
And so the owner is, they're okay with complying with your all's checklist? And
Yes, sir.
Cameras and.
Yes, sir.
All that?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Not, I'll close this at 7:19 PM. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Item B, all the public hearing consider an ordinance providing an additional use permit regarding the sale of alcohol beverages, wine and beer, retailer's permit at the craft located at 234 East Stevens Highway 83, village described as Lot 1 Block E, letter block, San Juan, as requested by MAC residents, RTD LLC. Sir,
Thank you. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption at the Craft at Cheers Food Truck Park. The property is located at the southwest corner of US Business 83 and Iowa Avenue. The proposed days and hours of operation are Thursday through Sunday from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. The applicant will need to comply with the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission requirements. Additional permits may be required by the city of San Juan for different types of alcohol and license permits. Staff mailed a notice of public hearing to 8 property owners within a 200-foot radius and received no comments in favor or against the request. During the regular meeting on April 10, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval with a 6-0 vote of the conditional use permit with address verification.
That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 7:20 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions, members of the commission?
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Mr. Garcia, on page 2 or page 66 at the bottom, the second sentence in the paragraph reads, "They cannot have 2 liquor licenses at the same address."
Yes, sir, that's correct. And an additional address has been issued since then.
Oh, okay, so
Yes.
they're okay.
Yes, sir. Yes. That's correct.
Any other questions? All right, with that being said, I'll go ahead and close this at 7:21 PM. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item C, hold a public hearing and consider an ordinance regarding a voluntary annexation petition of the 0.773 acre tract of land out of Lot 13, Block 47, Alamo Land and Surface Company subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the plot or map thereof recorded in volume pages 24 through 26, map records, Hidalgo County, Texas. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir. This property is located on the north side of Erling Road, approximately 935 feet west of Cesar Chavez. This property is currently going through the subdivision process. The Planning and Zoning Department is conducting the first public hearing of the voluntary annexation petition of the .75 acre tract of land out of Lot 13, Block 47, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision. The property owner has submitted a petition for voluntary annexation to the city of San Juan. Annexation of this property is being undertaken in accordance with the provisions of the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 43, Municipal Annexation, Section 43.028, and the city charter. Recommendations to hold the public hearing of the voluntary annexation petition as presented at this time.
This time, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 7:22 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions, members of the commission? Nope. So I'll close this at 7:22 PM. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Oh, second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item D, consider second and final reading of an ordinance classifying property described as being a 0.57 acre tract of land out of Lot 8, Block 35, Alamo Land Insurance Company subdivision, Hidalgo, Texas, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to the map plot thereof, recorded in volume 1, page 24 through 26. Map recordings, Hidalgo County, Texas, according to order of judgment recorded under County Clerk's document number 501-28, official records, Hidalgo County as surplus property, and authorizing the transfer of that certain property to the San Juan Economic Development Corporation for economic development purposes, providing the effective date, providing for publication, providing for codification, providing for severability, providing for a repeater clause, and ordering all other provisions related to the subject matter hereof. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir. This is a property being transferred from City of San Juan to San Juan EDC. It's a property on the north side of First Street, west of Stewart Road. And at this time, we're recommending approval for the second and final reading of the ordinance.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia? So that is your recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With that being said, is there a motion to approve? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 7, discussion and possible action on the following matters. A, final plot approval of Shops and Chavez, Lot 6 being a 1.94 acre tract of land and out of Lot 4, Block 35, Alamo Land Insurance Company subdivision, located approximately 350 feet north of Frontage Road, Interstate Highway 2, along the west side of Cesar Chavez, as requested by half of the social. Garcia.
Yes, sir. Shops at Chavez, Lot 6, the 1.94 tract acre land. It's a subdivision in the flood zone C. Water and sewer sources will be provided by the City of San Juan. During the regular meeting on May 8th, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the final plat with a 5-0 vote. We're recommending approval as well.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 7B, discussion and possible action of any setting a deadline for waiving permit fees for those affected by the flood of March 27, 2025. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir. We're hoping to get some direction from the board this evening as setting a date for waiving, deadline for waiving that permit fee for the areas affected by the flood on March 27, 2025. For context, just since the day of the event, we've had 11 permits that we waived fees. Out of those 11, 3 were this month, and 6 of them are for fences. So they have slowed down. We have not seen much of this activity.
So what is your recommendation? What would be your recommendation?
To end it today, as of today.
I think we only have 7, no?
Well, now we had 11. We had 3 people come in today, but they were for fences.
To end it? How about we end it next week? Monday?
Yeah, give them an extra.
Only because maybe some are in a financial situation where maybe even though the permits are waived, they still can't do the repairs that they need to. And I know the county's already starting to get in the funding to help the people. So I would say put out a major PA with IT on the 211 system and all over platforms, announcements, whatever we can. So that if there's people that do come forward saying that, we are planning to do it, but for financial reasons, we can't still get the permit unless you issue the permit now, because it's good for a year, correct?
Yes.
Permits are good for a year? Just so that they know and they come forward and if they need to get that permit. So if we extend it, like Mayor said, that would be good, so that they have the time to get what they need to get
No, I think she's
ready.
correct. You also, I think it's something that we can do as a commission letting them know right now, give them the courtesy to
Yes.
put it out, publicize it, and give them that extra time allotted,
And if more people start coming forward, maybe bring it before us if we need to extend it again, the permit fees. So we'll see how it goes with this, with the PA for now.
So you want to wait and hold on that exact date, or
Recommendation?
next week?
Monday.
Monday?
So Monday is.
Yeah, but then I mean, you guess you can take the case by case too. I mean,
Sure.
But I guess we can end it, just inform everybody that Monday would be the last day.
Yes, sir. We'll post some announcements on the
You know,
building.
And if, like I say, someone who, financial, situation where they need it, well, then, you guys determine that, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So just take it.
Okay.
Maybe you could consider, since we already have a May, maybe give them the 2 weeks at the end of May. Get 'em-
Well, whatever's the
I mean, I
board's
don't know.
wishes.
What do you all guys think?
I was gonna recommend June the 1st, yeah.
Yeah, June the 1st.
That-
Gives people plenty of time.
You're gonna put it out, weekend's coming, give them 2 weeks.
June the 1st?
I'll make a motion to extend the permit fees to June the 1st.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item C, discussion and possible action, if any, to allow the interim city manager to proceed with the employee benefit enhancement package. Cordero, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good evening again. So before you, you've got this employee benefit enhancement package. Okay, so what we've done is we've prepared something, excuse me. We've prepared something that we've been, like I mentioned, discussing throughout the years of how to enhance not just the retirement plan, but also the employee benefits. So with that in mind, we've got the mission statement, we've got our vision statement. But in order for the city to maintain the mission and vision, employees should also be recognized and rewarded for their commitment and dedication to the city. This package will also boost motivation, improve employee retention, employee attraction, and more importantly, employees will continue to feel that their voices are being heard. So these are things that Chief Leroy and myself have been discussing, even, with prior administration, of how we can enhance employee benefits. So the first one is going to be proposing the following, of course, keeping in mind, like we discussed earlier, was a lot of numbers earlier, but keeping in mind the upcoming budget and being fiscally responsible. So the first item is going to be the retirement, which is what Mr. Mills and Ms. Lorraine were here for and that they discussed. So increasing the employee contribution rate from 6 to 7%, include the updated service credit with a 75%, which is the option 2 that you have in your package, which includes the 9.6% with transfers and on a repeating basis. So he's repaid it. The repeating basis, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lorraine and Mr. Mills, is so it doesn't have to come before the commission every year. So that's what it means on the repeating basis. So it just goes on every year. Changes were going to be effective January 1st, 2026, and approved by ordinance with TMRS in the city, no later than December 2025, correct? So if you have any questions, Mr. Leroy is here for the numbers for fiscal year 25 and 26.
I guess I included a chart, and I kind of broke it down by funds and then what it would cost the city. In total would be 643,000. And of course, this is all preliminary numbers, like Mr. Said that he would have numbers maybe in the next couple of weeks or so more. But if y'all have any questions on which.
So the current is 602,000. So
Yes.
It'll double.
Yes.
Our cost will double.
No, it goes up 41.
41.
41,000. It's going from 602
Oh.
to 643.
The proposed option number 2 is what?
That is the what the recommendation or the option 2 in the file that TMRS has provided to us.
The 9.64.
Yeah,
which is
the
what-
9.64.
Which is what the recommendation, right? With transfers on the repeating basis?
Yes.
The 643 is what we're looking at. It would be an increase, like you
Our
said.
cost, okay.
Yes.
So then with the employee with contribution, then that's the 1.2?
With the employee's contribution?
Right.
No, that's just cities.
Okay, so how does this proposed option number 2 come into play?
It's
That-
just-
that
what he's
is,
asking is you have 602 on the current 4.66, and then the proposed option increases it to 1.2 million, but the city cost is 643. So what is the, what he's asking is the specifics on the numbers, from the 602 to 1.2 to 643.
The 602 is currently is what what it is right now at 4.66.
All right.
If we go with the 9.64, which is option two, the option one, and that will be now will be the 643 increase, which would be 1,246,000.
So it's a $41,000 increase cost expense for the city side. And the numbers are doable?
Well, we are working on our budget, and this, I guess this is what we try to do, is if this commission would like it, we would.
What's the
include it in
timeframe?
our budget.
Do we have a timeframe on?
December
Because
31st.
we go into
We have to
budget
do it
time
by
and we
December.
budget to when?
By December.
Oh,
We have
okay.
to do it.
Yeah, 'cause
Because
it
then
goes
you
into
buy
effect.
So we'll have time to look it over.
Right. So in essence, you could, when you're working on the budget, give us the two scenarios as
Yes.
Once they get the
With the changes
numbers
Which-
in June.
Broken down, because you said you're gonna get updated, some updated numbers, correct?
We will bring updated numbers, we'll get updated numbers
Right.
to staff. with
This
the
is
next-
ballpark.
Yeah, it doesn't go in effect till January of 2026, am I correct?
2026.
Yeah, so in
So
December.
we still got time, right?
Yes.
Just the ordinance needs to be done before the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah, no, no.
Got it.
We just
Okay.
have to prepare for it, and because of the budget.
I know the cost, what I'm thinking, future bonds, city cost is also the health insurance, that we're still needing those numbers also, that.
Exactly.
I know we
And I
have
mentioned
asked for
it
those
on
numbers
the
in the summer as a proposal to have a ballpark versus waiting till the end of the year when budget's done and we didn't allocate
Yeah.
appropriately on the budget.
And these are all preliminary numbers, so, I mean,
For
it
this
could
one.
change.
So next time when you come back, you think you guys will have concrete numbers?
If it's after about June 15th, we should have.
Concrete numbers?
Well, that's
So
what
why
we
don't we do that? Why
Wait
don't
till
we
then, yeah.
Come back and give us the actual concrete number, and then we'll take it from there.
If possible, bring that, if you can speak with the agent of record for the health insurance and for the cafeteria plan, so you can have a number to base these numbers on also. Because you're gonna need both those numbers overall when it
And
comes to
those
the
are gonna
budget.
be preliminary also, because
Those will
the
be preliminary?
plan actually is what, for January?
January 1st.
January
I
1st.
think he said he could give us something by June or July, if I'm not mistaken.
Normally they do if it's with.
I know he
the
does it in October,
current
Yeah,
but he
budget.
had
we
given
had that
us,
discussion.
he gave us, he said he would give us a ballpark by June or July. So reach out to the agent of record, see if that's still a timeline for him, so you can apply that to your budget numbers as well for October first.
Yeah, we don't want to get it hit the way we did.
Yes.
We didn't budget enough for that section.
Okay, so if I may continue on the sick leave accrual, basically our cap for sick leave is 96 hours. For full-time employees, we want to propose that it be unlimited. The last change was approved by City Commission in 2015 to increase accrual from 4 hours to 8 hours. So again, we're doing this gradually, we're doing little by little. Employees eligible for payout must be provided a 2-week notice, have provided and physically worked the last 2 weeks of employment, capped at $240 for payouts upon termination for eligible employees, as in the case of vacation. This would be the following criteria that Chief, Mr. Gonzalez, and I discussed. If you're employed for 5 years, the payout will be 120 hours. If you're employed for 10 years or more, payout will be 240 hours, which is basically like vacation. That would be the max. Employment must be continuous with the city and as a full-time employee. If employee is terminated, dismissed, employee is not eligible for payout, as in the case for payout on vacation leave. So that's basically just doing it unlimited sick leave, and then the payout. And then if you look at the holiday schedule, all we're doing here is adding Juneteenth, federal holiday. It's one of the most oldest known commemorations related to the abolition of slavery in the United States and recognized since 2021. This is going to coincide with what we've done in the past for our holidays to be concurrent with the counties and business days of operation and most state agencies.
What's the total holidays now with this?
We have, I believe it's
Like
15,
15?
16,
Is it
yes.
15?
No, we're doing good on the holidays, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So this is just adding Juneteenth,
Okay.
Juneteenth to it. And this change is to be effective immediately, which is going to be in June. And then, of course, we're gonna send out a notice to all the employees and put it on the website.
A little side note, just for future reference, when it comes to Fourth of July in particular, sometimes it falls like on a Wednesday. If that's something maybe we can look at, say if they have Wednesday off, if it's something we can, or Thursday and they have Friday off, to make it a longer weekend, just something to look at to see if that's something the commission would even entertain.
Sure.
Just to bring it, when you have those holidays that land on a Thursday, then they have to come back Friday, and then they're off Saturday, Sunday again. Just something to incentivize them a little bit. But
Sure.
bring that before and see if that's something the commission would.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. And then, of course, the longevity pay. So currently, we have seniority pay. And we'd like to change it to longevity pay for full-time employees, non-civil service, obviously, to be paid biweekly, as in the case of civil service, to keep it similar to civil service, police, and fire. The change, we're recommending to be effective October 1st, 2025, and the criteria will begin at 2 years plus at 200, and then at the 30 years plus ending in 6,000. So before you have a spreadsheet on the cost, 2 different scenarios. I believe one of them's to show you at 2 years of service, and then thereafter on the 3rd year of service. Mr. Gonzalez.
In this chart, I kind of wrote, there's 132 employees at $200. So we're talking about 26,400. And this will be paid biweekly as they get their paycheck. Currently, with the seniority pay, it's at 35,000. So we would save in the seniority pay, but we would include it. Everybody is going to get longevity pay, not just the ones that are reached 5, 10, 15, and 20. So, so if you look at it, it's 132 employees at $200 at 26,400 versus the 35,000 that we would be if we kept the seniority pay. And I also included for the year 26, 27, and that one comes out to 131 employees, being that the employees are still here, and it'd be 39,100 versus seniority pay that would be, if we would do for seniority pay, would be 43,000, which we still would save 3,700. So
the proposal would be to reduce what they would.
to discontinue the
Seniority.
seniority pay and go with longevity.
And then they would get less on the longevity?
Every year will be increasing.
Every year would be.
They start earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you get paid bi-weekly.
Versus one lump sum.
In lieu of waiting to the end of the year, around
5.
December,
And then completing the 5 years.
and completing the 5 years.
5, 10, 15, 20.
So basically the difference is you'll be getting it in your regular paycheck versus at the end of the year. In a lump sum, right. So if you want to add about currently the employees, how it'll affect current employees that are in that bracket right now versus how this is going to transition, if this is considered, it'll affect those employees.
There were, I can't remember the amount of employees that would be getting this year. I don't recall the number that we had. So we had, we have about 20 employees that would be getting the seniority pay this year.
They were scheduled to get it if.
In 25, 26 year. Yeah.
The lump sum. But if we go through with this, they're not gonna get the lump sum. Everybody's gonna go onto this.
Every payroll.
So those 20-something employees would be affected if we do this transition. And some of them may vary from what the amounts.
They vary from 1,000 to 4,000. Yeah, there's about maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Out of
8,
the 25?
9, 10, it'll be about 1,000. And then, yeah, and then you have 1, 2,
Would have gone.
3, 4.
If we,
4 about 2,000, 5 about 2,000, and then 1 4,000. One that will be at 20 years. Yeah,
with how many years of service?
20 years of service. Oh.
Do you have any other questions regarding that? Okay, so the other item that we looked into is the retiree medical insurance. Currently, we do not offer retiree medical insurance, medical coverage. But however, if we do this, the employee or the retiree must have consecutive years of service for 20 years with no interruptions. Of course, the coverage will end once Medicare is approved or eligible at age 65. So in other words, you retire, the city's going to pay 70% of the medical premium, only for the retiree only. No other coverages, no other supplementals, nothing like that. The retiree is going to pay 30% of the medical premium. Of course, we discussed this about not going retroactive from this point moving forward, and the change would be effective January 2026. Keeping in mind what Commissioner Santillan had mentioned, the renewal of medical insurance is obviously pending. That'll determine more or less what it would cost the city for any possible retirees. So the premium, again, will vary depending on the medical premium coverage in place at the time of retirement. So let's say right now it's 300. Well, actually, I'll let Mr. Gonzalez. Right now, we have he's going to show you what's the numbers with a proposed HMO plan, which the city does not, the employee does not pay for that premium. The city does. Just a scenario of the HMO.
Okay.
Not the PPO or anything like that.
On this chart, like, we have about 11 employees that have already reached the 20-year of service. So if they were to leave, and I'm not saying that they will leave, but if they were to leave when this gets adopted, we would be paying out, well, not paying out, but covering insurance for about $55,000. And this is based on the rates that we have right now. Like the Commissioner Santillan says, it might go up, or it never comes down. So,
And assuming that they all leave.
yeah, assuming that they all leave.
Which the likelihood is, not all of them are going to leave at the same time. This is just worst case scenario, I guess, if they are all 11 leave.
All these 11 employees have been here for 20 years without a break of service. So that's what I was trying to come up here.
Assuming that if they.
Yeah.
If they all leave. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right now in the market, some of them want benefits, some of them want retirement, some of them want, so it just varies. It just varies. We know it's a lot, but, we've heard what the employees are seeking. We've heard what other cities are doing, right? We want to be able to retain, not only attract, but to retain our employees and compensate them for what they deserve.
So this is something that we approved so we could start looking, because we're starting our budget already. So it's something that we need to add in our budget to.
And we know there's other items, the insurance, CDA, just a lot of things, different projects that are ongoing. We've taken that into account. But I think starting early and having this discussion, we can make better decisions for our employees.
So as far as the retired employee health insurance, right now, for anybody that's retired, the city's carrying their insurance?
No.
That's-
You retire,
so
that's
right.
it, you're on your own. You go to Cobra or
So
you,
TMRS doesn't offer?
No, sir, we just do
No.
retirement.
just retirement.
That's TML.
Yes,
Well, TRS also.
right, yeah. but
Oh,
not-
TRS
Because
does?
I'm on TRS.
Yes, no.
Yeah, no.
TMRS is just a retirement fund.
So we would carry them.
Yes, or until they're eligible for Medicare or age 65 when they're eligible. You know, and that's what some of the cities, we did a survey, and that's what some of the
And
cities
you
do.
have the numbers of what that cost would be prepared by the city, right?
Well, just what it currently,
What it currently is right now.
yeah, but it might change, yeah. If all 11 left, if all 11 were to retire, this is what it would be, yeah,
It's just based on who's eligible.
yeah.
To retire. The 11, the 11. And we have, you know, those 11, they may stay, they may go. You know, but we want to be able to reward them with something for their service also. You know, it's difficult right now with insurance. But that's something that the city would like to consider. Any other questions? Anything we can try to answer for you?
So we're gonna wait for additional information?
Yeah, we can say it this time,
Okay.
and we'll come back, so we can concrete numbers.
So after, let's say, June, then we come back before you to have a little bit more. This, again, this is ballpark. All this is ballpark, so you can have an idea.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think
Yes.
just on this.
And I'm glad you bring that up here because I know last week we only had one workshop.
Correct.
We had to approve it.
Correct. Just right now.
And he, Mr. Gonzalez.
And that's why
you mentioned-
we're starting early.
Starting
Yeah.
early.
And I appreciate that being here.
Mhm. Yeah.
And basically, Chief wanted to prepare you all for this, that this is what we're looking into providing our employees.
So maybe sometime.
That's true. Mhm.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
I think you said you get like a ballpark, no true numbers, but then the things that families submitted, especially those shop things and things like that, that's gonna contribute to the rates. So by providing the number there, now it's those numbers, then it's go by the budget.
So at this time, I'll just go over into my points.
Sure.
But if you'd like to give you or our chief, give you reference to coordinating a workshop.
Yes, sir.
Just on
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
On all the whole entire package is what you're talking about. I don't know about that, but thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you.
Item D, discussion of possible action on any school or number 45-005-04-09 cities and one lift station number 6, relocation project to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Go Underground LLC in the amount of $3,387,183.20 and authorize the interim city manager to execute all related contracts.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the Commission. Chief Garza. On Wednesday, March the 12th, 2025, and March 26, 2025, staff solicited proposals on RFP number 25-005-04-09, City of San Juan Lift Station number 6 relocation project in the Advanced News Journal. A pre-bid conference was held on March the 26th and a bid opening on April the 16th, 2025. Two proposals were received from the following contractors: Go Underground LLC and Moorwell LLC. After evaluation of the submitted bids, considering the price ranking and previous experience with the City of San Juan, Tramet Consultants determined that Go Underground LLC was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Should you have any questions, representatives from TriMet Consultants are present, along with Mr. Martinez with Public Utilities.
Who are the questions addressed to? Mr. Salazar?
Rick, or we've got Mr. Martinez here.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
What is our budget on this one? What is the amount of money
Good
that's
evening,
available?
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners. My name is Rick Salazar with TriMet Consultants. We submitted, TriMet submitted PSNEs to the city before the bidding of the project. The estimate that was provided to the city was in the amount of $3,449,100. That was the budgeted amount that we gave on the set of plans. The contractor did, when the bids were read at $3,137,183.20. And he had left out, Go Underground has left out the amount of $250,000. So after we did the bid tabulations, we caught that, and this is a betterment fund that was provided to the contractor. It was across the board. The information wasn't put on the last item, but after capturing, that is why the bid came in at $3,387,183.20. That is the additional of the betterment amount for $250,000 for their portion of the project. This is a difference of $61,916.80 between the lowest bidder, which is Go Underground, and our estimate that we provided to the city, and it's a difference of 1.8% difference, which the contractor was lower.
You have a table to alternate?
Yes, if you see through your submittals, we do have a couple of alternates. The bid tabulation that we provided included the base bid, which was 32 items with 3 alternates. The alternates are something that is needed, that were on the plans. Some of the alternates you might not need right now, and that's why the decision was made to include only alternate number 2. But alternate number 3 ultimately will be something that the city will need, just to make sure that that line crosses 495 and is ready and prepared when that road expands. The county should be expanding that road here pretty soon, but we're still waiting for that day to come.
So accept the bid, lowest bid, as is, without the alternate?
The recommendation that is being provided to you all in front of you will include the base bid for $3,387,183.20 plus alternate number 2 in the amount of $130,000.
Number 2. And that's because?
That'll get us to the point of the budget that we have.
What was
Will
the
be
budget?
within budget.
Yes.
With the
And if we're gonna be within budget, now those alternatives that you mentioned that will eventually be needed, how far down the road do you foresee us needing to add additional funding for that?
Right now, they're gonna start, but then we're gonna.
Yes, the one that I really recommend is putting that sewer line or that collection line from this lift station, which is about 1,000 or 2,000 linear feet, just north of 495 and Chavez. Bring it down, cross 495, and set it ready for the developments that are in the area, which is about 1,000 acres or so.
So you cover it, that, that'll be within budget.
That's over the budget.
No, that's
but
over budget.
That is not.
That's why I'm
part of
asking
this.
how much are we gonna look at?
Over.
You're over, right, because
Yes.
if there's something that's gonna be needed.
Correct.
What are we looking at as far as?
It'll be
In
the
addition
addition of
to?
$130,000.
130,000?
Yes, which is already in the bid tabs. But we could come back if you all wish, and either we could rebid it or
Can you rebid the alternatives?
yes, we could rebid the alternative if you wish.
At the time that we made.
Yes,
When needed.
yes.
Okay.
they're changing, well, you don't have a time for it.
This project will take about a year and a couple of months to finish.
This particular one?
This project, yeah, just this project, what we're talking about, base bid and item number 2.
Anticipated date to start, if approved tonight?
We are still waiting on the environmental. We did get an email today. Everything's already approved. They are asking for some questions. They're asking for the contractor that you all gonna select tonight, and they're asking for some information on the contractor. We will be providing those tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll get Afonso here pretty soon. But everything's already pre-approved, everything's already ready to go.
And you've worked with them before, you're comfortable with your recommendation?
The contractor has done a lot of work, or some work here at the city, locally here at the city of San Juan. As a matter of fact, they just finished a lift station maybe a year or two ago, which was kind of similar to this, what we're doing here. And we checked the references. They're in existence for 24 years now. They've been in business for 24 years.
Under that name?
Under that name, is that correct, sir? Okay.
Well, the first 2 years under OSP, for 2 years.
Okay. For 2 years, we're under another name. The next 22 years is under this name.
And then during those 2 years, did they do this business with the city of San Juan?
No.
Now, in the evaluation forms that you submitted, I know that, that as far as relevant work, for example, Cruz Flores was the evaluator, he puts a score of 0 for relevant completed projects. Relevant would mean pertaining to this type of project, no?
The item that he put a 0 is this.
Yeah, it was 13 quality, and then relevant, number of relevant is 0.
Yes. So Go Underground has currently a project with us at the city of, another sister city from here. And that might be the reason that he put a 0, because we haven't finished that project. We're almost finished, but.
Yeah, he has 0, Jose Perez has 2 out of 5. Miguel Garcia has 3 out of 5, and Mr. Martinez has 3 out of 5. I just want to make sure that the person or the company that we're selecting is going to be able to handle whatever.
Yes, of course.
You have.
Local. Yes, and he's local. He should be, like I said, I mean, he's done a lift station here locally, which is here in your city. Just finished it about.
Which one was that?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. Which lift station was that?
13.
Lift station number 13?
Yes, sir.
No issues? Miss Lori, everything went? Juan Carlos? No issues with that lift station? Change orders?
Good evening. There was no issue with the construction of the lift station. There was only one change order, but it wasn't the contractor's request. It was AEP requested an additional breaker.
Oh.
That wasn't, it's a new regulation that was implemented mid-construction, so that's why
Last year?
the change order was done.
Last year, you said?
Excuse me?
It's been a year, right?
Yes.
More or less?
Yes.
Okay.
Since that one got.
That's all I got, Mayor. Thank you.
One question. Any litigation or anything that you know of, Mr. Salazar?
With this company?
Yes, sir.
None that I know of, no, sir.
That was the question.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Correction, consideration and action on the interlocal cooperation agreement between the city of San Juan and San Miguel regarding the inspection and approval of outside food facility system. Mr. Garcia?
Good evening. This agreement concerning the septic tank interlocal agreement that exists between the City of San Juan and Hidalgo County. Under this agreement, the county will be responsible for setting permits for septic tank installations and inspections within the city. Hidalgo County is having to update the agreements they have with cities since their fee schedule has changed due to adding a reinspection fee of $75. With the approval of this interlocal agreement, the City of San Juan authorizes the County of Hidalgo to conduct inspections and permits of the septic tank installations and inspections with the San Juan's jurisdiction. The latest interlocal agreement with the County of Hidalgo was signed on February 26, 2020. Staff recommends approval of the interlocal agreement as presented.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia?
That you know of, Mr. Garcia, how many septic tank homes do we have in the city of San Juan that are using the septic tanks instead of?
Very, very minimum. Since I've been with the city, I haven't heard of one come in.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion approved?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Item B, consideration and action, if any, on memorandum of understanding MOU between the City of San Juan and the San Juan Economic Development Corporation and conveyance of property described as being 0.57 acre tract of land out of Lot 8, Block 35, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir. This is the property we presented on item 6D. We're asking for consideration and action, if any, on the memorandum of understanding between the City of San Juan and the San Juan Economic Development Corporation for conveyance of property described as being 0.57 acre tract of land out of Lot 8, Block 35, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision. Staff recommends approval of the MOU.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion approved?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, consideration and action, if any, on agreement between the City of San Juan and Tyler Technologies regarding payment, card processing, and authorization for the interim city manager to sign all of the documents.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, interim city manager. This contract is between the city and Tyler Technology. We currently have standalone credit card processing, and we're trying to get all our processing into one, which would be Tyler Technology. And this is also something that Commissioner Santana has been wanting to. Right now, we're currently working with Avalon, so this will replace Avalon. In this contract. So.
Is everybody now on the credit card system, on the fees?
We are, except the utility, which this will bring up the utility, but they're all under the standalone, and we want to get all in one. It should be Tyler Technology.
Oh. But everybody, even though they're standalone, is being charged?
Yes.
Okay.
So how did you learn about this Tyler Technology?
They had called, and we've been looking for something to change, and they had been reaching out to us, to me and Mr. Carr, and so we sat down with them and then reviewed it, and this will bring everybody up to date as far as the credit card processing. So currently, right now, they in the planning department and the municipal court, they run the machine, they run the credit card through the standalone, and then they have to go into Encode and input it. So they're doing two different things here. So this would take care of that.
So is this the only company that's out there, or is there several other companies?
There is other companies, but they are.
Okay. What we're trying to do makes everything inclusive, so it'll allow payments to go directly into Encode without anyone having to do anything extra. Additionally, it'll remove any errors made while they're typing information into the solution. It also brings all credit card machines under one single vendor. Right now, we roughly have, I think, 3 or 4 different vendors that we use for credit cards. We do have issues with one of the vendors, which is Paymentus. Whenever Tyler does an update, it breaks the Paymentus connection, and that's why when you call on the phone, sometimes it fails. So we've had to fix that manually every time there's an update. Moving to this solution under what Mr. Rosales is proposing, that gets removed. Everything is within Tyler itself.
All right.
What is the cost to us?
7,000.
7,000? And with the current system that we have?
We're paying, I I can't remember what we're paying per transaction, so,
It adds up to.
yeah.
I think before we started charging everybody, we were at 56,000, more or less.
I think it's up
That
to
we
about
were
maybe
incurring?
60, 70,000 now.
60, 70,000?
On the costs that we were incurring.
It's a big difference. Huge.
Yeah.
Difference.
Any other questions?
How soon can this get started?
I
If
think
approved
as soon as you
tonight?
sign it, it takes about 3 months to implement, is that correct?
It's 3 to 4 months to try to make everything go.
Okay. And all credit cards are accepted? Because I know there's some systems that don't accept, say, American Express or Discover.
Yes,
All credit cards.
It's an updated system that's technologically a lot better for our city.
It's more
Bottom
streamlined.
line.
It's a lot more streamlined.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Resolution, consideration and action, if any, on resolution canvassing the returns, declaring the results of the general election held on May 3rd, 2025, for the purpose of electing a mayor, commissioner for place 2, and a commissioner for place 3, for the city of San Juan. Mrs. Escalante.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. At this time, I will present the resolution certifying the election results for the election held on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. This election was conducted for the following positions: Mayor, Commissioner Place 2, and Commissioner Place 3. With the total votes cast in the election, 2,817. And there's a section on the information for Section 3 Canvas of Election Returns. Summary report is the last report included on the packet. For office of mayor, Ernesto Coach Guajardo, there was an absentee of 66, early voting of 872. On election day, 339, with a total votes of 1,277 votes, with a 45.59%. For Mario Garza, there was an absentee amount of 15. For early voting, 1,116. Election day, 393. With a total votes of 1,524 votes, with a 54.41%, with an undervote of 16 for that, for the office of mayor. For Commissioner Place 2, Mario Cantu, there was a total of 9 absentee votes. For early voting, 1,129. For election day, 396, with a total vote of 1,534 votes, a 55.30%. For Marta Santa Maria, there's a total of absentee votes of 71. Early voting, 839. Election day, 330, with a total of 1,240 votes, with a 44.70%, and a undervotes of 43 for that race. For Commissioner Place 3, Adina Santillan, there was a total of 64 absentee votes. For early voting, 767. Election day, 293, with a total votes of 1,124, with a 40.29%. For Gilbert Garza, there was a absentee votes of 13, early voting, 909, election day, 282, with a total votes of 1,204, with a 43.15%. For Jaime Castillo, there was a total of 3 absentee votes, early voting 304, election day 155, with a total votes of 462, with a 16.56%. And for that race, there was a 27 undervotes. Therefore, Mario Garza received the majority of votes cast and hereby certified as elected mayor. And for Mario Cantu, received the majority of votes cast and hereby certified as elected commissioner for place 2. And for race for commissioner place 3, no candidate received over 50% of the votes. A runoff election is required between the top 2 candidates. In this case, Ms. Adina, Commissioner Adina Santillan, and Mr. Gilbert Garza. And this resolution is for the acceptance of the canvassing for the election.
Any questions? Not, is there a motion to approve? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Consideration and action of any on resolution issuing order and notice of City of San Juan runoff elections for the Commissioner's Place 3.
Once again, good evening. This item is presented as the follow-up to the previous approved resolution, the canvassing of the results for the May 3rd, 2025 general election. We are now seeking approval for a resolution and official notice to order a runoff election to be scheduled for June 7th, 2025 for the City Commission Place 3. A runoff election is necessary as no candidate received a majority of votes in the initial election. At this moment, we're recommending approval of the resolution, issuing the order and notice of the City of San Juan runoff election for Commissioner Place 3, as well as selecting the number of polling locations to ensure the access for voters. And it would be up to the commission if we want to have the 2 polling locations, the North Fire Station and the library, or for the early voting and election day, or just the San Juan Memorial Library for early voting, election day, and then 2 locations for election day.
By any chance, do you have what it costs to have 2 polling locations open?
Since the runoff, it's probably like 40.
Do you have how much we spent during the regular election?
Last year, it was...
No, the one that we just did, this one.
This one.
Well, it was an estimate of...
Is that 40 for 1 location or 2?
For 2. That's what we had for the special call meeting of last special
In July.
election.
Okay, but for this one, for the one in May 3rd election, May 3rd election,
It was 68,
60
yes,
for both,
for both locations.
close to 7, more or less. Okay. So if we were to do one, it'd be half, obviously, right?
More or less.
Okay. Okay, whatever.
I know I was out there, Mayor, and I know the turnout was low on the north side, but looking at the numbers, we still had 600 votes come in on the north side. Being that it's only one, I know that it's going to be less, but I'm thinking that having both locations will hopefully increase the number that come out, because it's going to be a lot less than the one you just had. Yeah, so I would recommend keeping it the same for the runoff.
Okay. Any other questions? And the times are the same and everything?
Early voting days, it will start May 27th through June 3rd, with election day of June 7th. And the hours are The first day, which is on May 27th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., all the way through May 30th. And then the Saturday, May 31st, is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, it's closed. And then Monday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then June 3rd, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Seems like the same schedule.
Yes.
as the last one. Okay.
With election day being 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
With that being said, is there a motion to approve? It's the same time. Everything's the same from the last of it, on May 3rd.
Just a point of order, legal point of order, if I could either confirm with the council just real quick.
Okay.
We can retire executive, just to visit about what just took place.
Sure. So,
I just wanted to visit with the council to make sure that it's legally.
Oh, okay.
So we table?
no.
We can table it, see if I could visit with the council
Move
first.
to executive. You need a motion?
Okay, so is there a motion to enter executive?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll be right back. We're entering at
8:19.
8:19 p.m. Is there, at 8:27 p.m., is there a motion to reconvene?
So move.
I'll
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item C, consideration of a resolution to approve a water line access agreement between the City of San Juan and North Alamo Water Supply Corporation.
Right, I was gonna say, we're going back to.
Consideration and action, if any, a resolution issuing order of notice of the City of San Juan runoff election to Commissioner, please.
So I had made the motion, Mayor.
Correct. So there's a motion by Commissioner Ramirez and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Markey. So with that being said, is, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 4-0. Item C, consideration of a resolution to approve a water line access agreement between the City of San Juan and North Alamo Water Supply Corporation for the two height subdivision.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. The mentioned proposed subdivision is within the North Alamo Water Supply Corporation water service area. North Alamo Water Supply requires an agreement between the corporation and the City of San Juan to be signed and executed before the corporation allows the installation of fire hydrants and water lines at Sioux Heights subdivision, located approximately a quarter-mile west from Cesar Chavez Road along the south side of Sioux Road. The format of the agreement is consistent with the previous agreements approved by the City Commission in the past years. Staff recommends approval of the resolution as presented.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia? None? Is there a motion approved? So moved. I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Consider approval of the tax collection report, report for the month of February 2025. Consider approval of the tax collection report for the month of March 31st, 2025. Consider approval of the budget expenditure report for the month of March 31st, 2025. Consider approval of the quarterly investment report for the period ending March 31st, 2025. Consider approval of the city commission minutes, April 13th, 2025.
On the consent agenda, is there any need to amend or modify the consent agenda? If not, is there a motion to so moved? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Executive session 8, the City of San Juan Commission will convene an executive session in accordance with the Executive Meeting Act, Earnings, Texas Statute, and Code Noted, Government Code, Chapter 551.071, consultation with attorney. Item 1, pursuant to Section 551.071, consulting with attorney of the Texas Government Code, discussion and possible action regarding legal issues concerning unemployment matters. Item number 2, pursuant to Section 551.071, consultation with attorney of the Texas Government Code, discussion possible action regarding a Texas court position of prisoner rights. Item number 3, pursuant to Section 551.071, consultation with attorney for the Texas Government Code, discussion possible action regarding legal issues concerning the 2025 4th of July event.
With that being said, is there a motion to executive?
All in favor, say aye. We are entering into 31 feet.